Artificial intelligence, thinking machines, unmanned robots. These aren't science fiction anymore. They're all part of our lives. In just a few years, when an autonomous robot drives past you, you probably won't even bat an eye. The sooner you accept this reality, the better. But I'll admit, this situation is as scary as it is exciting. Because this technological revolution might also be opening the door to a huge disaster for us. While AI is propelling humanity into the future in so many ways, it could also bring about our end. Now, when I say our end, don't immediately jump to those extreme examples. Popular culture is filled with books, movies, and games where AI tries to destroy humans. While those scenarios aren't impossible, they are very, very extreme. Long before we get to the dystopian worlds of The Matrix or Terminator, there are other, more immediate dangers that AI can create. We're already seeing many examples today. AI applications can be used to commit crimes. Or, you can use AI to create fake photos and videos of someone to get them into serious trouble. You can add a new item to this list every single day. This is the real, rising danger right now. People using AI can do terrible things with it. I've said this many times on different platforms and in other videos on this topic. I am not afraid of AI. I am afraid of the human who will give it the orders. Just as scary, though, is an AI misinterpreting the orders it's given. A simple command you give could cause a disaster you never, ever expected. So, what are we going to do about this threat? How will we protect ourselves? Yes, today's software developers and engineers are working day and night to minimize AI risks. But it's not enough. We keep hearing stories about AIs that misunderstand orders and cause accidents, or AIs that threaten people to protect their own existence. New stories pop up every day, and our anxiety just keeps growing. What will protect us from the negative side of this technology? I mean, sooner or later, some crazy billionaire could build a robot army and unleash it on us. Autonomous robots programmed by malicious people could commit theft, or worse. Maybe they could even commit murder. So, who is going to say stop? Now, if you're a science fiction fan, a certain name probably just popped into your head. Yes, Isaac Asimov and his famous 3 Laws of Robotics. Many people believe that the only way to eliminate the dangers of AI is to standardize Asimov's 3 laws. They think every AI created, every robot coming off the factory line, must have these 3 laws embedded in it, and the machine should never be able to violate them. So, what are these 3 laws? The 3 Laws of Robotics were created by the legendary sci-fi author Isaac Asimov back in 1942. They first appeared in his story Runaround, and their purpose is to protect humans from AI in the future. According to Asimov, these 3 basic laws are: first, a robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Second, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Third, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. We've read about these laws and seen them in action in Asimov's stories for years. We've even seen them in popular culture, movies, and games. Later on, Asimov decided these 3 laws weren't quite enough, so he added a 4th, or rather, a Zeroth Law: a robot may not harm humanity, or, by inaction, allow humanity to come to harm. The original 3 laws can never conflict with this Zeroth Law. We have to give Asimov credit here. He saw the danger years ago and tried to come up with a solution in his own way. But is that solution enough? If we add the 3 Laws of Robotics to all AI applications, would we solve all the problems? The answer, unfortunately, is no. By the way, don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing Asimov. He thought about something many people should have been thinking about years ago and tried to create a solution. He deserves appreciation for that. But the 3 Laws of Robotics are not enough to protect humanity. The most basic reason for this is that Asimov wrote stories for humans, not for robots. Because he was writing for a human audience, these rules were created in a way that the human brain and human logic could understand. They aren't structured in a way that current AI can truly grasp. The AI in Asimov's books was far more advanced than what we have today. It was basically a replica of the human brain. Maybe robots 500 or 1,000 years from now could comprehend these laws, but that's not the case for today's AI. The 3 Laws of Robotics are too simple, too insufficient as they are now. They're full of gaps and contradictions. And that's not just my opinion, it's the opinion of many experts. If we try to apply the 3 laws as they are written, it just won't work. In fact, it might even make things worse. For example, let's look at the first law. A robot cannot harm a human. But what exactly do we mean by harm? Sure, a robot can't grab a knife and stab someone. But is physical harm the only kind of harm? We can harm people with psychological abuse. We can harm them by creating fake videos and spreading baseless accusations. The definition of harm in this law is incredibly vague. Plus, there are so many contradictions. For example, let's say you want to save someone's life, but to do it, you have to harm another person. What do? Or imagine an earthquake. You're trying to rescue someone from under the rubble, but the only way to get them out is to amputate their leg, which is trapped. Well, isn't that a form of harm? Or here's a crazier example. Would you kill 10 people to save the lives of 1 million? Most of you would probably say yes. But when you ask an AI that question, what do you think it does? If an android has to follow the 3 laws, it either can't make a decision, or it makes a very absurd one. Then there's the second law. The robot has to do everything a human says, as long as it doesn't harm others. But what if your robot harms people indirectly? For instance, someone tells your robot, "Hey robot, come press this red button." The robot obeys and presses the button. A bomb goes off, and hundreds of people die. A normal person would be suspicious of an order like that, but an AI can't be. And let us not forget the third law, what a robot can do to protect its own existence. Like I said, as long as you don't clearly define the concept of harm, there's no limit to what a robot might do to protect itself. But if you ask me, the most troublesome one is the Zeroth Law. Because according to this law, an AI cannot stand by and watch humanity come to harm. But what is the definition of harm here? I mean, everyone smoking is a harm to humanity. Why was the AI in the movie Robot trying to take over? Because its goal wasn't to rule the world, but to protect humanity from other humans. If an advanced AI tried to apply the Zeroth Law and came to that same conclusion, what do you think the result would be? Would it sacrifice 100 million people to save 8 billion? Besides all this, there are countless other risks I could list. Yes, whenever this topic comes up, someone always says, we'll just install the 3 robot laws, and that will solve everything. But based on what I've just told you, I can say this with confidence, 3 laws are not enough. We need many more laws. Laws that are more detailed and don't have these massive gaps. At this point, my personal opinion is this: today, SAI creators need to come together and establish a safety standard. A protocol of rules needs to be created. A protocol that everyone has to follow, and it should be implemented at the government level. For example, the European Union, which loves to create regulations for everything, should create this standard. The Americans, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, everyone should sign on. These protocols must be in every advanced AI, in every humanoid robot, and they must be constantly audited. Is it working? Are there gaps? Are there conflicts? In my opinion, this needs to start happening urgently, and thankfully, serious work on this issue has already begun in some countries. The European Union is introducing some regulations for AI, but this shouldn't be limited to just the EU. It needs to cover the entire world. Apart from that, another solution I'd suggest comes from Asimov himself. Just as he came up with the 3 laws, he also invented the important concept of robopsychology. Since we are the ones developing AI, and we're making machines that can think like us, then just as we have professionals for human psychology, we need professionals for robot psychology. I argue for this on every platform I can. I think robopsychology, or AI psychology, should become its own academic field. Because right now, AI is entirely in the hands of the numbers people, the engineers and mathematicians. That's why I believe psychologists and psychiatrists need to get involved in this field. So, what do you think about this? What do you think should be done to protect humanity from the dangers of AI? Please share your ideas in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.